and welcome to a Hero Arts video with Lucy Abrams. Today I'm going to show you how I created this masculine monster themed birthday card. I'm going to start by showing you some screenshots I've taken from Word on how I created the digital parts. First of all, I imported the picture after having recoloured it in green in Photoshop. Then I resized the image, making it about 1 inch wide. And then I formatted it so that the image was in front of the text. This means you could put lots of them side by side together on the page. I've made the image a little larger for the next part. Then I angled the image, and this, you click the little green dot above the picture and then you drag it left or right, and this way you can have the monsters and the images at different angles on your page. You can see now on the next screenshot how I did lots of different angles and then just copied and pasted them and put them all next to each other. For the monster image, I imported it into Word, then resized it so that it's 3 inches high, and then I printed it onto 3 different colours of cardstock. And now onto how I actually assembled the card. Firstly, I've printed the monsters out onto some grass layering paper by Hero Arts, and now I'm just trimming it down to size. I want the background to be just smaller than a Hero Arts note card. So here you can see me using my fabulous Fiskars trimmer and just checking the size of the note card and just trimming it down so that the background is going to fit perfectly onto the card. Again, just measuring to make sure I've got the exact measurements, and there you can see it's going to be the perfect fit. Now you can see here are my craft cream and yellow monsters that I've printed out, and now I'm going to do some fussy cutting, cut it up and build my monster. The craft one, I only need the body, so I can chop off the legs and arms and then just cut it out. The yellow monster, I only need the hat. As always when cutting, the best tip is to move the paper rather than the scissors where possible, to make for a much neater edge. It just makes cutting so much easier. So I've got my little yellow hat here, so I can paper piece my little monster together. And then on my cream monster, I needed quite a bit more. I need the arms, the legs, the teeth and the eyes, all the difficult bits. With the teeth, I thought I'd show you how I chop them out. I actually decided to do it as one piece instead of 5 separate teeth. So I carefully cut along the top line of the teeth, and then I cut all the angles, all the teeth at the one diagonal first, and then cut them the other way as well. So it's really fiddly, this bit, but I think it is worth it. Of course, you could have, or I could have just coloured the teeth in with a white pen. I think at some stage I did wonder why I hadn't done this, but I quite like cutting things out, so so just very careful cutting with just the tiny tips of the scissors, and then it's really not that difficult. I suppose you need to have a bit of a steady hand. Last few little bits and the teeth are done. So that's all ready to be paper pieced together now. I actually added a couple of lines of stitching on my card to create a kind of ground effect for the card. The bits that are left over, I'm just taping them onto the back just with some regular sellotape, and then I'm just going to chop the edges off, the leftover bits off. This is now ready to be adhered to the Hero Arts note card. For this, I just like to use double-sided sellotape. This is my favourite adhesive to use for sticking backgrounds onto cards. The best thing about this particular brand, Scotch, is that it is repositionable, so you can move it if you make a mistake, which I always find very useful because I regularly make mistakes. So as far as dry adhesive go, this is the favourite one that I've found. Just putting lots on, and then I'm just going to line it up, make sure I've got the right side of the card. and stick it down. And I'm not quite happy with that, so I can just peel it back off again and try it again. So the background's ready now. Next thing I'm going to do is paper piece together my monster. Now I'm using glossy accents for this, which is my favourite adhesive, favourite wet adhesive. So I'm just going to add the hat. And then the eyes and the teeth. Don't need too much for this, so otherwise if you put too much on it will ooze out the sides. So just a little bit in the middle. One of my favourite things about glossy accents is the fact that the nozzle is so tiny. I can even use it to do these tiny teeth. Just a tiny drop comes out the end. It's just perfect for this kind of detail sticking. Just wouldn't be able to do this with any other type of adhesive, I don't think. Okay, so the teeth are on. I'm going to leave the hands and arms till later. Now I'm going to stamp my sentiment. So I've just cut a little strip of yellow cardstock, stamping on my sentiment. Apologies for my terrible acrylic block. And then I'm going to snip off the end, and I just added a little bit of twine onto that end. And then it's come to stick it all together. So first thing I'm going to do is adhere the legs to the back of the sentiment, because they're not quite long enough to hang all the way to the bottom. Then I'll stick the monster up above, match him up with his legs. Stick them down. And then I'm just going to add the arms. Now you can see I actually flipped the arms so that instead of going upwards they come down, so it looks like he's holding on to the little banner there. Again, just line them up, flip it over, and just use some sticky tape to stick them down. It's a little bit fiddly, but it looks really cute. And he's done. So all that's left to do is to get some foam adhesive and stick him down. I add a little bit as well to the banner just to make it really secure. I don't want it coming off in the post. So just peeling off the back of these, and I can stick it down, and the card is finished. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and here's a final shot of the card. Bye!